Starting the new week off with a new little project. We got a little couple-day project here. New driveway coming in and a house pad up here, building pad. It's a garage and house combined. I think it's 54 by 82, I think that's what we staked off. But coming here this morning, marked out where the driveway is, got it painted out for him. He's gonna strip the grass off. We got stone coming, and I'll show you what we got up here. We just got the skid steer, the mini, and the roller. What we will be doing, we're going to strip all this grass off, most of the topsoil for the driveway, stockpile it, and then for the pad, I think we estimated somewhere between 450, 500 tons of fill to bring in. I dug a little hole down the other day when we were laying it out. It looks like about 8 to 10 inches of topsoil. So we'll have to remove all that, get down to a more, that's an anthill, but well, it's a frozen anthill. We see kind of the reddish clay. Most of this right here is topsoil, which is not a structural material. So in order to build on it, that's got to be removed down to a solid base. And then since it's winter time, everything's wet everywhere, and we have no place to really cut 400, 500 tons of fill from. We're importing it in from the rock quarry, so we'll have a controlled fill pretty much with a uniform base, and it should work out really good. So we should be able to get this knocked out in 2 days. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is the dump truck. First load of the day. We'll get the road built in here, and then we'll bring in some trucks and we will rock and roll, literally. Alright, so we about got the driveway cut in. Let me idle this down a little bit so it's not quite so loud. I just kind of followed the wood line up to the front corner of the pad. He's cleaning that up. We got a load of stone down there, and we're just taking the topsoil, putting it in a low area. I'm going to start going down this edge and just stripping the pad down to the solid clay. If I spin back around, you can see about 8 inches down it's a red clay, and that's a good solid building material there. So I'll skim all this down to that, and then we'll bring our fill in and return the pad to grade and then level it up. Luckily this is a pretty flat spot. It probably only tapers 12 inches or so from here to that corner way over there. So we should be good. We'll start digging away. pretty good. I got all the outside edge cut in. I've just laid it up here and he's able to come with a skid steer and scoop it up. We're taking it out back, piling it up where it'll be used for backfill. So not a whole lot of topsoil left to take out. Just clean up everything here in these piles. And we got a load of stone. We'll bring one more and then we'll start hauling all the fill in for this. Making really good progress. We've been at it for about 4 hours now. I've gotten 120 tons of stone on the driveway. So the road is now built to the pad. We've gotten the pad stripped. As you can tell, we had to cut out all of that, which was almost 10 or 12 inches in some spots, but probably averaged about 8 or so, 8 to 10. All that topsoil is stockpiled back here, which is probably about, we probably got 10 or 12 loads stripped off altogether between what I've got right here. I've got to clean up. It's probably about 2.5 up there. I had a soft spot right there, so I dug it out. It's starting to get rock, so that from the rain, the water will kind of lay in there between those rocks and make a soft spot because it can't penetrate. So I dug all that out. And pretty much we're waiting on fill now. They'll start dumping that. We'll push it across, get it compacted in. And I'll get this cleaned up. So pretty much all the rush work is done. Now it's just waiting on the trucks to get here with the fill dirt we need. got the first lift in. This is still probably got to come up a foot or so on this end. I'm cutting out for porch addition right here. One more load should get all that covered, and then we'll put another lift on top of that. Everybody in the county's out here today looking at I already dug some test holes for the septic. That way they can approve the septic permit. Coming along. So the pad's going really good. We're probably at about 400 tons hauled in here. Other than that little bit of the driveway, even though we cut it out, it's still kind of a little pumpy, but it'll dry out. We did have about 2 inches of rain 2 days ago, so the groundwater's really up high. So, but it's kind of hard to tell since I've backfilled dirt around the edges. It kind of raised it up, but it's not pretty. It's just knocked down. We got about probably 6 to 8 inches more to put back on top of it to finish leveling off, and then that's what I'll fine grade that out. But for right now, it was just knock it down and get it halfway smooth and rolled in. We'll dress it up nice and pretty at the end. That'll be tomorrow. So we got one more load of stone coming for the driveway. I got the pad done and graded out this morning. Doesn't look like it, but there's almost 500 tons, I think. It may be 500 tons. I lost track of the tickets. Yeah. I've got all the dirt backfilled around it. That topsoil is just wet and mud, so it didn't grade out the prettiest in the world, but they're going to come around here and dig footings, and the plumber will get in here and just make everything look like a bomb went off. So, but we ended up having about almost a 3-foot fill in that corner by the time I dug it out. Like I said, I've already tapered it down, so it kind of looks like it's always been in here. But yep, got a nice little pad for the house and garage on that end. And I left a pile of dirt back here in the back for backfill. It'll sit there and dry out some. This stuff is wet. Like skid steer leaves like 8 or 10 inch ruts driving through it. But I got it smeared around good enough where it'll run off if it rains, and once the place is done, probably summertime, it'll be nice and dry and it'll grade out beautiful. But there it is. Pad is done. Ready for them to come in here and dig footings and run all the plumbing. Stuff was sticking to the drum pretty bad on the roller. That's when we got all these little indentations. But they're gonna put 4 inches of gravel over it, so it really doesn't matter. All right, well, this one's done. Spread that stone out and load up. Head off to the next project.